Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast, infused with hip hop. I am Wood.
Made daily with organic, farm to table, localized, neuralized, sterilized, Scotch guarded for 2020 repellent, available online, shipped via Amazon, not available on Sundays, Broken Pencil Logic. You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
Sundays be damned. Yeah, man. Hey, it's been a long time since we started to show off like this, Suave.
This is true. This has been a minute. You know, we out here on the lowest day counting this money.
Yeah, 3-man weed popping off. As per usual, it's
a whole lot of fucking gang shit. Run the triangle. Scotty!
Yeah. Minnesota's in the mother highs up in his feet.
Hey, hit them with power. Get that trigger popping real quick.
The West Side Gun ad libs going.
Shouts out to Ron Murray as always.
Price just went up. Price just went up.
15% increase. Post spring break. Price is going back up into the summer.
Oh shit! We're knocking things around. Let's see here. I'm guessing y'all gonna hear this on Monday, March 24th. Year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
I said year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
20 and 20.
I got 5 on it.
Got it good. Yes, sir.
That's the one I'm gonna keep.
Yeah, man. We got a special guest up in the house. Long time coming. MC producer extraordinaire, live from the cold, great state of Minnesota. Now residing in our favorite territory, parts unknown USA.
Hey.
Minnesota. What's happening?
Hey, man. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing, man?
Living, grinding, and surviving. That's what we doing.
Glad to be here, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. We'll talk. Yeah, we ain't gonna sprinkle it with no nonsense today. We got some talking to do. The last time we had an episode, we did a You Know Who Ain't Gonna Win, and I went overboard. I literally jumped off the pier, all in pause on AEW.
Previously on the
I really thought that AEW was about to give us some lackluster nonsense, and my whole heart approved of everything that I said, and Suave even co-signed some of it. I am here to tell you wholeheartedly, with that same heart I gave you in the last episode, I sincerely apologize. AEW Revolution delivered. I'm not going to go stock up, stock down. Suave gave it a push, which I respected it on the show. And I mean, considering we were live
again, the winning lotto numbers come from where?
Swami Suave.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Do you feel me?
Yeah,
when
man.
in doubt, vote with Suave.
In IMOC, no less. Do that in IMOC. The International Month of Cool, for those of you not in the know.
Keep celebrating this religious holiday. About to blow a third.
It's a 31 day affair. It's, as the mayor would say, it's a celebrate.
I'm late.
Hey, every March is IMOC, the International Month of Cool. We celebrate from the 1st through the 31st. There's festivals, there's concerts, there's food galas.
Lots of food.
Yeah, lots of sneakers being bought. Matter of fact, a pair just got here yesterday.
Oh boy.
Oh.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
It's a whole. It's a celebrate. The whole thing is just a large celebrate.
Let me run through the card real quick for Revolution 4, just because we just took it to task.
We got it wrong, but we got it right.
Yeah, Hangnail Page defeated MJF.
I don't understand that one at all.
Not for, I mean, of course, there's always storytelling involved. So I mean, it's got to come at a cost to somebody, and it looks like MJF's about to join a new faction here. Mercedes Moné defeat Momo Watanabe for the AEW TBS Championship. great match, but we knew going in there was absolutely no way Momo was walking off with the TBS title. If any other title was on the line, different conversation.
In which case, why is it 20 minutes? Give me a hot 10 and let's go home.
Yeah,
what are we doing?
I'm with you on that.
The biggest question mark for me tonight, and I think Suave was on this one too, Swerve versus Ricochet. Swerve defeated Ricochet, but what the hell was Nana on?
That was poorly assembled. Like, I don't understand them beefing mid-match and Nana deciding to leave, then come back, and like it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Now, if you had knocked him unconscious, he was helped to the back, still came back. Okay, cool, but he left on his own. What made him come back? He should have stole the robe before he left.
He had multiple chances to steal that robe, man. It's just hanging. It's hanging in the corner that he's standing in. It's just sitting there.
Right.
What was he on decaf, or he need a new cup of his coffee? Like, what are we doing?
And the payoff was a James Brown moment. Like,
everything would have been better if either Nana stayed the whole time or he had been knocked unconscious. Him leaving on his own made it look like he was going to turn.
Right. Just for him to turn around and then come back to his senses like 10 minutes later, it's kind of
right. Crazy. Made no sense whatsoever. And then Ricochet,
and he been threatening Swerve for the last year. It's just with different isms. Like,
it just.
Like I didn't want Nana to turn, especially not having anybody to go with, because like every time he's left one sector, like one faction or one group of people, he's leveled up, and you can't get any higher than Swerve right now.
He'd have gone with Ricochet and done all the talking for him, which would have been cool for a little while, but is that a sustainable situation?
It would get stale quick. And really, there's nowhere else for him to go. Like you said, he's leveled up. How do you level up from Swerve if you leave Swerve?
Exactly. Then it would have made everything that happened with the Hurst thing.
Who needs you? That's at that level. Nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just would make no sense. So.
Then it makes Swerve look stupid for not joining the Hurst Syndicate.
Low key, Swerve has one of the better stories, if not the best story in AEW right now, because he called his shot. Like when he first got signed at Revolution, he said he was going to be AEW World Champion. We went to Revolution last year and thought he was going to win, and he ended up getting it at Dynasty. And then now this year, a year later, he's without the belt, going for the title at Dynasty. If he does not get that title at Dynasty, Nana needs to figure something else out quick. So I'm saying now, Swerve is walking away with that belt at Dynasty.
It's just time. Like the Death Riders thing has run its course. It doesn't have an end.
Don't worry.
It's complete.
We got plenty of time to talk about that fiasco.
It doesn't have an ending point. There's no end game to this.
And we still haven't seen that. We still haven't seen the belt since October.
Right. There's no rhyme or reason to it either. Like, even in the sense of like there being no end game, what's the journey? You know what I mean? Like
the man is on. How is the man on top chasing his own belt?
Bro, we got an intro and no conclusion, and the body is whatever.
The body is blank pages.
It makes no sense.
You the champ, but you don't want to show nobody.
It's mine. The best thing he said with that title being disappeared is the fact that I am the title. That's the best thing he said, but there's no meat to those potatoes.
It's lost in all the other nonsense that goes on. Like, none of this other stuff makes sense. You had one hot line. Mm-hmm. Could not make it into a hot song.
At all. After 6 weeks, that shit got stale quick. After we realized, after Shane McMahon wasn't an option anymore.
Hit the bell for that man.
All right, so it's like, okay, so now what? And I think that's what they were at too. Like, well, shit, now what? It seemed like they were banking on the Shane thing. That didn't happen, and they were left with nothing.
Well, watching two almost unalivings, one of them on pay-per-view that they refused to comment on, and then they turn around and do the exact same thing on free TV.
That's the mixtape we need. The list of god-awful things that have happened during this Death Riders run. Because you tried to choke the man to death with a plastic bag twice. We've seen people get bleach poured in their mouth. We've seen people suplexed on spiked 2x4s. We've seen ears be bitten.
Yeah.
There's got to be more stuff.
And-
That's
and-
a hot five right there.
Yeah,
That's the
I'm about
EP.
to say that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's something every week. You know what I'm saying?
And,
Like,
and it started with plate glass. Hard to believe that was 5 years ago, bro. It started with plate glass.
Oh yeah. Kenny's DDT through a plate glass coffee table.
A ring laced in black cats and sparklers. We were like,
Yo, Moxley's delivery record is terrible now that you think about it. Like, we need a Moxley mixtape next episode.
all right, yeah, so it
We
in.
got to put that together. Moxley mishaps.
Okada versus Brody King. Okada retains the AEW Continental Championship. Honestly, if you're going to separate Brody King from the House of Black and put this, I'm carrying it on my back on my own type situation, now was the time, because Kaz Okada is doing absolutely nothing for the Continental Championship.
Hounds of Hell, and then you keep beating them. Like, what's the point?
yeah.
And Hurt Syndicate, Jesus, the way they did the Outrunners.
Bro, I loved it. And I fucks with the Outrunners. I like the nostalgia part of it. Like, it's fun for wrestling. I ain't mad at them at all. But
See, he's one of us.
That's how it's supposed to happen.
Like, they might as well start coming out to Met the Man Who's the Champion every match. Because, like, we hurt people is dope, but like this whole I'm battling the Great White Hope, like, if like I don't know if Bobby's too old to pull this off, but I don't know if you heard this meta or not. But right before, I think it was after the whole Lana situation in WWE, he wanted to gain like 50, 60 pounds, and then like come back on TV like super bloated, and then lose it all back. And me and Suave,
I did hear that idea, and he said like Vince wasn't with it, or they said it, or something like that.
it was probably too dangerous considering the track record in the E.
Vince must have thought he couldn't do it effectively. Like, he couldn't diet well enough to lose it. You end up with a Sheamus situation on your hands.
Man,
It takes longer than expected. Like, he can get back, but it just takes longer.
Yeah,
He's older.
The age too. I would think the only thing that would probably be concerning is the fact that he's kind of up there in age.
that was my number one factor.
Metabolism ain't running as fast at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Like
then at the-
Shelton is
at the
finally
same time-
bigger. Like Shelton and Bobby pretty much have looked exactly the same over the last 20 years. And Shelton, because he's with Bobby and MVP,
part.
is finally bigger. But here he is, damn near 52.
That part. It's just like, if anybody was gonna, break through the stereotype of old people and metabolism, wouldn't it be Bobby Lashley?
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't look like that for 25 years and don't know what a diet is.
25. That man, look, we said it on the last episode. That man been looking like that since he was 12. Oh,
That's crazy.
that man went to junior high school having to cut the sleeves out his shirt.
And now he living in Texas, so he getting nothing but the best USDA grade A beef.
Man,
Pause.
what, boys?
Tony Storm defeats Mariah May for the AEW Women's Championship in a Falls Count Anywhere match, which was the Hollywood ending. Jesus Christ, that was brutal.
That was a lot.
Like, the Crimson Mask has a whole new definition on Tony Storm's face. Go ahead, Meta.
That's my favorite thing in women's wrestling right now is those two. That's my favorite thing right now.
Yo, we said it here. The very first week we saw Timeless Tony Storm, we said they have gold and don't even know it.
Oh yeah, and it's the fact that we know what Tony can do. It's the fact that Mariah's matched it. You know what I'm saying? Like, energy wise, she can go. She'll take it there. She's not afraid to take the bumps. She's not afraid to do the crazy promos. She's believable in the role. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Tony Storm is fucking hilarious. So it's just like her commentary is one of the best things going right now, dog. Like, it's amazing.
I'm gonna switch it up. It's not. We don't have gold with Thomas Tony Storm anymore. We have Bitcoin.
Hey,
The value rises and falls, but still, you want one.
even when she came back as herself and then like reincarnated as Timeless Tony Storm after a sabbatical and a retirement, like we still got a better version of what was of the same thing.
Yeah, you want
It
to
was only
carry
for like 4 weeks.
roster.
It was only for like 4 weeks, and he came back. Everybody's like, yes.
Actually, it was like 4 months. That's the thing. That's how
Actually,
much we
you're right.
missed her. It was like 4 months and it
You're
felt
right.
like a month.
Yeah, because she wasn't wrestling as much. She was on, but she wasn't wrestling as much. So it kind of flew through. Yeah, you're right.
Kenny Omega defeats Konosuke Takeshita for the AEW International Championship. Takeshita, man, that dude has miles ahead of him, boy. That dude is amazing.
He's so good, bro.
Facts.
He's so good, bro. Like, it's crazy how good he is, man.
That man actually needs to be AEW World Heavyweight Champion sooner than later. Like,
I agree.
we got to start transitioning towards the future. Like,
I agree.
Well, Ospreay against Kyle Fletcher in the steel cage, which man, Mark Davis just middle of the match, you break the chain and almost cut your arm off in the process.
We did not need you there for that.
That match was going to be great regardless. Yeah, you might have taken it down a notch,
especially if you almost amputated yourself. Like, we
right?
don't need that. Like, come on, bro. Y'all didn't practice this earlier in the day?
And then the biggest WTF in history for AEW to this point, John Moxley defeats Cope and Christian Cage. Christian Cage came in to do a cash-in mid-match. And we could have had one of the greatest, like, not false, but the greatest, like, missed finishes ever at that ending sequence.
Yeah, they missed it.
They completely missed it. And I found out via the interwebs, which I need to stay off of, the whole reason that went down the way it was is because Christian was tired of carrying that damn contract, and he's like, "Get it off me."
Don't put that on him, because I don't believe that. I believe they didn't have a plan. And yet again, they called an audible and said, "You know what? Let's go ahead and get this off the table so we don't have to worry about it anymore." It's probably time for them to crown a new one.
I think we're coming up on. No, I think that was All In when he got that.
Was it?
I think it was. I want to say it was All In. It was. He's held that damn near as long as Priest
for a while.
Yeah, he held that damn thing almost as long as Priest did the Money in the Bank contract.
Yes. And to far less fanfare when he decided to cash it in.
Right.
But the hand on Edge during the Bulldog choke, if that was the finish, I'd have been
hilarious.
It got me with that one. I'd have laughed.
Yeah. And mind you, I was like, Suave and I, we are like, just for the sake of the show, we take them for the team. Pause. This one, we said nah. We cashed out. Like we just put our money to the side, waited for the next one. Because the biggest thing was the venues, like the avenues for us to watch it, and we were like, nah, like you come in 3 days with something new, ain't that shit that hasn't been done before? Nah, bro. And then come to find out, all the other avenues were still there. They were just pushing the new one.
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
And we still can't watch pay-per-view on Max. And then I got to correct something, because I thought the entire back catalog of pay-per-views was going to be on Max come March 1st. It's like every Revolution from every year is on there now.
I think every time they do a pay-per-view, they're adding those previous ones on
2024.
there.
Yeah, like, why are we doing this?
It's like everything is up until like last year, and it's like, come on.
Because you can still buy the ones for the last 6 months on like Fight and whatever else they're on. I don't know about Amazon at this point, but I know you can still buy the old ones for the dirt. In fact, I think you can buy the whole year. Am I correct in that, Suave? You can buy all last year's pay-per-views for like one flat price?
I think so. Like on Fight or Triller, you can go in and buy like a complete year's worth of pay-per-views. But still, like
that's a bit much.
As much as I got love for and support AEW, man, they make it hard to defend their ass.
You see what I'm saying? If Max is supposed to be the home, it's Warner Brothers Discovery. Like, what are we doing? Why are we not being able to watch everything in one place for the casual fan, if for no other reason?
And we know how we feel about the casual fan.
Fuck them.
WWE Elimination Chamber. We didn't talk about that. We got Bianca Belair with a totally distraught attitude after watching Naomi get banked by Jade Cargill early. Like, we've never seen an Elimination Chamber where a contestant was taken out of the match while already in the ring. Yeah. And here we are with Bianca Belair. So the right person won, but the story was amazing. Just pure unadulterated violence by Jade Cargill.
And now they triple threat beefing all on from Twitter and all over social media. So it's like the Cocoa Butter Combat Club is no more. but they are carrying on the tradition of being the most entertaining thing in the women's division.
Have y'all seen the Instagram post between Jade and Naomi?
Man, what?
Of course I have.
That's a taggable thread. Like anytime they post something, I need to know that alert.
Have you seen the three of them shooting slugs at each other on Twitter?
No, I haven't seen that.
72 hours.
No,
I'm about to say, I just saw something about Bianca saying something. It was like a body outline, something saying.
Yeah,
like,
Bianca's back involved. So yeah, I feel like a SummerSlam triple threat might not be outside the realm of possibility.
Bianca needs to preoccupy herself with this whole Mania main event because she has no business interjecting herself into something that doesn't matter simply because they were her friends.
She didn't interject. She got
pulled in, yeah.
She got quote tweeted by Jade, and then it turned into some
Yeah.
They're blurring the lines, and I'm here for it.
I appreciate the nod to the hometown with Trish Stratus and Tiffany Stratton, but that match belonged on main event. It did not belong on the Elimination Chamber.
Everybody just relax. You know why we're here. You know what that was for.
KO versus Sami Zayn. It was the violence that we wanted and that we expected.
Indeed.
We did need that punt though. I know we're going to get it at Mania. Like that's the payoff is that we get the punt at Mania. But I think we really needed it for this one.
You know the rules. Don't give away what we can sell.
This is true. This is very true. And then finally for the men's elimination chamber, John Cena defeated CM Punk, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul. What did I call him?
Who?
Logan Paul. I called him something recently. Don't make me go to the text thread.
Yeah, I don't. Damn it. What was I don't remember, but I know you called him something out of his name.
Paul Sack.
Logan Paul Sack.
Yeah, and Seth Rollins.
That's hilarious.
That's a good one. That is a good one. Juice.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
So with all that,
you gotta sew that one in.
With all that, you know, me and Suave casually talked about the whole John Cena thing. We brought it up on the episode, and then we get to Monday Night Raw from Brussels, and I must say I love afternoon wrestling again. This reminds me of Global on ESPN. I'm here for it. I can't wait to see Monday Night Raw tomorrow afternoon as well, because that way my night is free. I can go to sleep if I want to.
And your best AWA.
Yeah, AWA, can't forget that. All-Star Wrestling, yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks. AWA.
Yeah, that's definitely your area there, Meta.
Man.
And WWE is becoming the land of bitches. Like Cody comes out calling John Cena a bitch. Drew McIntyre been a bitch for a long time now. Seth Rollins been a bitch for a long time now. Like,
take it easy.
Hey, tell me I'm wrong. Stop me when I start lying.
They're throwing it around crazy now. Fair pause. Like, it's wild.
They opened the floodgates with. They let Cody say, "Go fuck yourself." I was like, "Wait a minute, is this 1998 ECW we dealing with right here?"
Yeah, the censors were asleep behind the wheel, and if they knew that was coming out, I'm glad.
That was absolutely planned. That wasn't a slip. That was planned.
Yep.
To make Cody look better in totality, that was his moment. That was absolutely planned.
If that fine was $40,000, that's $3 for every fan that was in attendance. I'll take it.
Who fining them? What platform is fining them?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? What governing body is going to levy a fine?
Yeah, I still don't think they have everything with the over-the-top rules solidified yet, so they may have got away with a great one there. I mean, but hell, half the shit AEW does, especially on TBS and TNT, I mean, they should be just have a direct deposit bank account for ACHs for dropping F-bombs.
Yeah,
with hot mics. Yeah, man, you can. I guess the rules have changed for broadcast and cable television because, like, you know, they're showing other episodes of Bel Air right after Monday Night Raw, and you know they got outside.
Motherfucker dropped right after. Like, motherfucker, I was like, oh.
You got to make the most of your real estate. It's after 10 o'clock. We can do whatever we want to do.
Dig.
So, like, I'm grown and all, but it caught me off guard. Like, that's what we doing.
Oh yeah, USA good for that too. After as soon as Raw go off the air, all of a sudden, all their adult content come out. Like, hold on.
Everything but skin. Like, you literally
just
saying
about to-
every word under the sun.
I was just about to say they this close to showing some nipples, dog.
If you look at Raw close enough, you might see some lips.
Man, sir. Park it.
Oh man. So what's next, man? Just real quick for Cena, because like this whole I'm a petulant child and it's all your fault. Like, we've seen it before, and John Cena's not believable. He's just hateable at this point.
It's different than what I expected. Like, we were like, we thought we'd get new music, a new look, because he had discussed it in that vein before. But then he addressed it almost like he listens to the show.
I will say his explanation of the music is amazing. That's my voice. You don't deserve to not hear my voice. That was to me, that was gold.
I mean, I'm with it, but you got other songs, you got other bars. Like, you can do whatever you want in
Keep it 1,000, Swab. Besides Basic Thugonomics and My Time Is Now, have you heard any other John Cena records?
I'm gonna be very honest with you in this moment.
Wait, hold on. I can't disrespect Uncle Bumpy, because Bumpy Knuckles was also on that album. He got a platinum plaque for it. Now that's out the way. Continue.
The answer is no to your previous question, but I understand what Cena did, and it's brilliant. I don't like it from my own personal, getting my own jolly standpoint, but what he did was he made it so you can't like the new him. There's nothing to gravitate towards. So people absolutely would have made Cena the face if he had come out with new, cooler music, a new look, acting Hollywood. I would have liked that. He'd have been the face for me, because I believe everything else he said about, for 25 years, I put you in front of self, and now we're done doing that. So if he had a new presentation, I'd have gravitated towards it. If it's same old Cena, just saying he hates the fans now, it's like, okay, I guess Cody is the face.
I'm looking at the clock at this point. Like, I see we still got 9 more months of this, so run them up.
Now, yeah, this ain't got 9 months on it. This version,
I think he'll turn back before. I think he'll turn back before the year's over. I'm almost thinking there might be a double turn. I think Cody and him might flop at some point.
I think he and Cody are probably going to end up being a tag team before the end of the summer.
I would prefer that. The double turn, the tag team makes sense.
That makes sense too.
Cena and Cody versus Rock and who?
Peacemaker and Highlander.
Homelander, yep.
Homelander.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
versus Rock and who?
Yeah.
Jacob?
That's a good choice.
But Jacob's already got a rocket strapped to him, but that thing is stalling out before it gets out of the stratosphere, though.
Yeah, what? I know what they're trying to do with him, to try to make him put him over Solo, like, clearly or whatever, but it's taking too long, man. He shouldn't be losing matches to Strowman and losing all these triple threat matches and shit every week.
We actually might end up getting Jacob versus Solo at Mania.
Probably. Jacob put a rocket on himself. They had to take some of the gas out of it.
Yeah, because them Fatu chants got louder and louder every week, way quicker than anybody thought they would.
By the time the Royal Rumble got here, that man had real life odds on him being the challenger,
and people was with it.
Nobody would have been upset if Fatu had won the Royal Rumble.
We've been saying this though, like, since we were watching him, in Texas.
True.
This is the same version of Fatu. He has not changed, whether he was doing independent shows, whether he was with MLW. This is the exact same version of Fatu.
Same guy.
That's why it works. And that's why it works, because the casual WWE fan or whatever, when they go back, and if they do want to go check out, like, what's he been on, they're going to see the same nigga.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to see.
So there's not going to be any disconnect. It'll be like, he deserves this. You know what I'm saying? It'll just make you like him more.
Like, giving him a live mic is dangerous, and he's I think he understands the assignment well enough to be like, I'm not going to mess this up, because you're not supposed to go to the countries.
Right up to the line and then pulls back.
You're not supposed to go to the countries that he's been going to with the record that he has. You just ain't supposed to do that, and he's been doing it since day one.
And because he knows, and that he's very aware of his surroundings in a situation, he handles himself very much the way he should. He's keeping his nose clean. He's putting as much of his classic character into what he's presenting right now, but he knows how far to go.
And he's still being humble outside of what you see on TV, which is also equally as good.
Beyond humble. Almost to the point it's like, we need to hurry up and turn him face because we missing money.
Yeah.
Like he's a genuine dude outside the ring and it shines through when he does certain things. And like, okay, if you saw the last SmackDown, it was like this past Friday, where he's wrestling Strowman, but the crowd starts chanting Fatu.
Yeah.
You can see it on his face where he had to lock in and not start grinning.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got him. He got him.
Over. Because he's already been what Braun was 7-8 years ago.
Facts.
And they keep trying to get Braun up there because Braun is he's a big dude and he's a likable guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think anybody hates Braun Strowman, but at the same time, there's not much. You can't do much more with him anymore.
Once the phrase "get these hands, jump the shark," that was it for him.
That was it.
I agree. No, that's a fact. That's the best thing he had going. That was the best thing since Feed Me More. Even though I don't like Ryback, that shit propelled him to where that shit took him where he was supposed to go because it was believable for his character.
Yep.
Strowman working with the Roman Reigns that everybody hated, and the catchphrase "get these hands" was as good it was gonna get. He messed around and snuck Brock Lesnar and ate that left hand, and that was it.
Yep.
Yeah. That slow down. Slow your big ass down. Left hand.
Caught that loud receipt. like nigga, we all heard that, bro.
Haters give me them salty looks. Liars.
Yes, absolutely.
Yo, so AEW Dynamite last Wednesday, and they didn't do this as a main event. They did this at the top of the second hour. Street fight for the World Championship. Adam Copeland, whatever you want to call Edge, whatever, versus Jon Moxley. Street fight.
Why wasn't the pay-per-view match a street fight? Why didn't you do this on pay-per-view?
It kind of was once it became a triple threat. But again, I don't know. Like I like the fact that you don't do controversial finishes on pay-per-view for championship matches. So that's one thing AEW has in its chamber, and I'll give them the bell for that. But to do a 12-minute street fight, and the best thing we got out of it was a 2x4 covered in stubbed, so not pointed, stubbed nails.
Right.
That legit got stuck in this man's back. First of all, I'm glad he landed where he did, because any lower, we would be having a different conversation right now.
Oh yeah.
But for this to happen on TV and see skin being attached to the back or to this 2x4 as it's being pulled off, thank goodness for Wheeler Yuta being there, because ain't no telling how bad it would have came off. That skin would have came off.
It'd still be in there. Pause.
And you take that and you win? Make it make sense.
We're far past that. We just explained the Death Rider's the whole thing, start to finish, whenever it does finish, didn't help anyone. No one is better off for this. No one.
This is one of the worst things.
Even if Swerve wins the Dynasty.
This is one of the worst things ever. Like it's so ass. And the thing that makes it so ass is all the components are so dope. You got fucking Pac, you got fucking Castiglione, you got fucking Moxley, you got all these niggas, and it's the worst shit you could have ever created with all of these people. Like the only thing worse than this shit, and it's only because
and you got Stockholm syndrome.
The learning tree. The learning tree is the only thing worse than it.
Oh man.
It's like buying all fresh ingredients from the farmer's market and making a trash ass meal with it.
When you smell your own shit so much that it starts to smell like roses and potpourri.
That's what it is.
That is the learning tree.
Told you about roses.
They always smell like boo-boo.
Going to the farmer's market to make hot dishes, crazy. To make goulash is crazy.
See what I'm saying? Like, just, you ruined the whole $200 at the farmer's market. You end up eating hot dogs
With dirt in them.
microwave.
Oh man. One I guess somber bit of news to report is the homicide had to call it quits due to a cyst on his brain that's affecting his vision and motor skills.
Bro,
Oh shit.
that's no bueno. That's
His last match was this past Thursday, which he won. It was a tag match, and he won. But for that to be the reason, and the career that he had, I mean, we're talking LAX. You know, him and Supermex, Sean Hernandez.
So he got what, a quarter piece or 30 in the game?
At least 20 for sure. At least a quarter. I said 20. At least a quarter piece. I'm with you.
Yeah, he got a dub plus for sure.
The influence that he's had on Latin American wrestlers, especially for Puerto Ricans coming from New York. I mean, it resonates through Ortiz, through Santana, even Eddie Kingpin. It resonates through him. He was on the road with CM Punk. Like, you know, he was as much a integral part of the early days of ROH and the glory days of TNA as anybody. AJ Styles to TNA, for tag teams, him and Supermex, they were right there. ROH, you had Joe, Punk, Danielson, like that whole era there. Like, he was right there to mix with all of them, man. So, you know, salute on a great career. To Homicide, best of health for you, and, you know, make sure that you take care of yourself and make sure you got good people around you taking care of you, because that is necessary.
That's my first time hearing. I hate hearing that, man. That's awful, man. But as you said, thank you for everything, brother. Like, for real, for what you did for your people, for what you did, people of color in general, what you just did for wrestling, man. Like. Nigga was cold.
Yeah.
They was cold.
Wait,
Superman was cold.
Here's what's crazy. People forget that they had I wouldn't call it a feud. I guess it was like a mini faction with Serena and Rosita. Rosita is now known as Elena Vega. It's like 2010. She was a baby in the game.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's love. That's love, man. Love to him and his family, and to hopefully being able to live the rest of his life without too much complication.
Yeah, man. On a brighter note, though, speaking of family, Minnesota. Let's call that a segue in this world. Man, talk to me, man. So, you know, you come from Minnesota, home of AWA. You had some legends coming from there, man. Like, you know, we talking about the Road Warriors, Paul Ellering, Rick Rude, the Hennings, all the Hennings.
All of them.
What's Ice Train's tag team partner? Help me out, Suave.
Scott Flash Norton.
There you go.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, the Ole Anderson, Arn Anderson, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair, like, you know, tons of history coming out of the great state of Minnesota, man. What's your history going back to professional wrestling, man? Like, when did you start, and like what got you like continue to be hooked as a grown ass man?
I used to watch AWA. That's pretty much what it was. Started off watching AWA, and it was like the Wrecking Crew, and watching them, and just like like Greg Gagne and all that, just all that, just that sort of thing. So my dad never watched it, but he had a guy that he worked with, and he would come by once in a while, and he would put the TV on, and it would be AWA. So I would just watch it with him. And then one of my homeboys in the neighborhood was a wrestling fan. So I just kind of got to know a little bit more through him. And I was just hooked. I've been a fan since I was about 7 or 8. And my birthday January 19th. So it was always around Royal Rumble. So once I got like old enough, I would just tell my parents, like, yo, will you get the pay-per-view, get us some pizzas, and I'll just invite my homies over. And it was always on Saturday night. So it would usually be the homies from like the hood or that we went to church with. So they would just go to church with us in the morning. We watch or you know what I mean, like, or Sunday night. I'm sorry, or we come after church and then that sort of thing. So it was, yeah. I just always I was just really into it. Like wrestling, it just made sense to me.
And then even this many years later, like it's so funny because like I got to quit it to you. Shouts out to Tech up there in the Burr. That's one of your closest partners right there. And through that relationship, I started seeing posts here and there from you, watching live like regular TV shows, Raw, SmackDown, AEW, and then it's like he's really watching this in real time. It's like wrestling fans, we know they exist.
Oh yeah.
But when you see somebody that you got camaraderie with in the same lane, it's like, yo, we do this too. Like this,
right?
Because ain't no shame amongst us. Really, ain't no shame for us. Period. So like we the outliers. So it's just people still out here being grown and hiding all that. But speaking of your hip hop stuff, man, like there are 4 people that have given us the stamp of approval on some of the music that you hear on this show over the last years that we have. M. Slago, Marco Polo, Nick Craven, which for obvious reasons we can't use his music right now. That man is bubbling, and yourself, which we greatly appreciate. How long you been producing for, man? I know your MC game been there for a minute, but how long you been producing for?
Coming up on 7 years now.
Damn, so you relatively new to this.
Oh
yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. Coming up on 7 years. Right before we moved down here, I would always like mess with Tech. Like he would. Tech been making beats since he was in high school. Making incredible beats though since he was in high school.
Yeah, shouts out to my cousin Minnesota Red too, man. Mo. Yeah, man, that dude's one of the nastiest I've ever seen, and that's who I met Tech through was through Mo, and just seeing how they work. Like if you being around that, like I've just had glimpses of it, and you being around that, like being cut, like rooted in that, you had no choice but to be dope.
I remember when him and his family lived on the east side. You go into the basement, that's where he had his studio set up, and his pops had hundreds and thousands of records and crates lined up around the walls and around the whole basement, and we would just pick random stuff. He would just pick random stuff to flip, and that's how Tech just got nice with it. And I would play bass lines for him because I knew how to play piano and stuff from church. I'll do the bass line for him once in a while. If he didn't like the bass line, you think you do something? So I would do that, but I didn't really make beats. And then him and my boy Pilot, shout out Pilot Johnny, one day I was over at the homie Jesse's crib, and he was like, man, I was like, so what do you do when you make the he was like, oh, and he just showed me how to work the equipment a little bit. And just finally clicked. And I was like, oh, that's it? and then I ended up getting my own computer in Ableton, switching over from Pro Tools to Ableton. And yeah, ever since moving down here, being a caregiver for Mom, I'm always in the house anyway, so I had nothing to do but get better at it. So pretty much what it was.
The irony of you saying that you just started and like you didn't know what you were doing at first, and you were doing like little stuff here and there. Like this is one of yours we're playing right now off of a beat mixtape that you did about 7-8 years ago called "These Don't Even Slap for Real." And we've been playing it ever since it came out.
About 4 years ago.
Was it 4? I thought it was. It felt like longer than that.
Yeah, I was saying I can't go about it. I think it was 2021, maybe.
Because we've been playing this ever since the first day it dropped. We've been playing it.
It's on my iCloud drive right now. Don't you worry about it.
That's love. Hell
yeah, man. I don't feel free to cut me off. There's one person that you despise in this rap game, and I don't want you to mention any names. I just want to know the story.
All right. Long story short, I was doing my first headlining tour, 2017, and we were in, I believe, Michigan, and it was me, Greg Grease. It was our day off, and shout out to Lion, and she was on the tour with us as well. And we was in the hotel room and we were like watching basketball, but he was on Twitter and Greg goes, "Hey, you think Jay-Z got hacked?" And I was like, "Nah, what you mean?" And he was like, "Well, he's just naming all he's doing is just putting rappers' names on here. And for like 4 tweets, he's just saying rappers' names, like shouting them out. And I went and looked at it and I was like, oh, he's got commas with no spaces? No, that's him. That's probably so I literally go about my day and I'm just going over the set for the next day. And Greg goes, I wonder who he didn't name in here. And I was like, shit, I don't know. I'm not sure. And he started going through and he was like, yo, he didn't say
Buddy.
Boy's name. And
yeah, he said Buddy.
And I was like, yeah, he did.
And he did work with Buddy.
Because he said, I was like, bro, he said Pharaoh. He said Shabazz Sadiq. Like, he brought up him. I was like, he brought up clearly the other. He was like, nah, he didn't. So we're going through it.
Basically went through the whole sound bombing.
Yeah. I was like, wow, he didn't say his name. So I was just kind of laughing about it. At that time, I wasn't following. I still really don't follow like anybody I don't know personally, whether you're famous or not, unless it's art wise. If you're like an artist who paints really good, graffiti really well, or like a great, or something uplifting. Like there's a brother that does. He helps disabled people get their motor functions back. He's like over in the UK, like that type of stuff. Yeah, I follow that all day. I need that stuff. Give me that shit on my timeline.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody else? It was like, nah, just because you're a famous rapper or whatever. Let me hold you to the standard that I hold you at. Don't ruin it by you being a lame ass nigga on Twitter. So I would rather not.
Yeah, you sound better with your mouth shut. Go ahead.
he was like, yeah, he's kind of a narcissist type dude, man. Like, he's probably crushed right now. And I was like, you think so? And he was like, yeah, you won't say nothing. I was like, why would I say so? He was like, I'm just saying you won't though. And I was like, bro, now you know I have to. So I added, I was like, I wonder if at Buddy feels a certain way that he wasn't named on the joint. Within less than a minute goes by, an immediate response. And he sends me the quote of him getting shouted out on a certain song by him. And I was like, oh, no, facts. I was like, I love that song. Absolutely. But we talk about today, though.
because we here.
My toxic trait is I don't know when to quit sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But also, though, like, I'm also not being malicious. I'm just cracking jokes. That's how I am. And he could have shut me down with just sending me that, but he just kept going. And then I kind of people throw the word narcissist around a lot, and it gets kind of annoying. But with him, it's completely justified in the sense of he couldn't comprehend that I was just cracking the joke, that I would dare speak to him that way, and he's up here and I'm down here. And I was like, man, I was like, oh, you're mad for real. After a couple hours, I'm like, oh, he's mad.
A couple of hours. Not a couple of tweets, a couple of hours.
I just kept going. I just kept going. So this went for like 2 days until I eventually was like, bro, I'm doing my first tour. I'm loving life. He's like, man, I'm about to go on tour and I'm about to have way more people than you. I was like, you better. I would hope so. You had a hell of a head start.
Like you gold and platinum. Like if you do less numbers than me, like it's over.
I quit engaging. I like muted it. I go back 2 weeks later just to see. He's never quit over 2 weeks straight. Him and his minions, 2 weeks straight at me, to the point where people eventually started listening to my music and then he started blocking them, being like, hey, this meta dude is cold. Like, y'all should do a song together. He's like, oh, no, you're an op now type shit. So then he would block whoever said something nice about me. So, yeah, it just got to be that point where he just kept going to the point and then he called me a coon. And then I was like, well, we have to fight. Like, if I ever meet you, if the first thing you don't say is I apologize, we have to fight, bro. Like,
yes.
Knuckle up, G.
The matter of fact way that you came to that conclusion is something I can absolutely co-sign.
To this day, like, he performed that sound set, and I was like, I was down here. It was the first year I was down here, and I was like, yeah, I need all my peoples. You know what I'm saying? Like, go boo his set real quick. And people was recording themselves booing his shit while he was rapping.
That's hilarious.
To the point they said he got out as soon as he got on stage, like he got up out of there, like he didn't stick around for nothing. He went back to his hotel, whatever, in Minneapolis. Mind you, this was when it was out in Shakopee still. So let me just say that's like a 50-minute.
It's a stretch.
Like, yeah.
That's crazy. Boo this man.
Yeah. So I was like, no, boo this man. Pretty much, yeah, boo this man. Because he said, I get more love in your hometown than you do. I was like, oh, word. They stopped playing.
Yeah.
The two stations that played hip hop removed his music.
That's that. Yeah, you got to iron shit.
We love you, but this is one of ours. Like, nah.
Is the irony you talking about how the story started in Michigan and you pulling a trick move away from Minnesota.
Hey man.
Yeah. It's
funny, man. Like at the end of the day, we all men, bro. Like if I knew I was offending you or whatever, I would have stopped. I would have let it go. But offending to the point where it's like, oh, he's not. Oh, I hurt his feelings. Not with the vitriol he had. It was like, oh no, I'm gonna keep going. Like you, like that's crazy. Like you saying, going crazy at my friends and homies and stuff that are like mutual friends. We had a few mutual friends. The homegirl, the Lioness, I was on tour with. He was following her on Twitter, blocked her, called her out her name and shit, and DM, then blocked her and stuff. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta beat you up, bro. we not only do we protect black women, we protect our friends. We crush fragile egos on a regular basis.
Well, the great to see that you guys crush fragile egos, because I got my eyes on some information earlier this year about a project that you're working on with somebody who should by far have one of the biggest egos coming out of Detroit, and he does
Absolutely.
not. He does not. Comes from one of my favorite groups from Detroit, The Left, and is one of your closest friends, Marv One. Talk about the album, bro.
Man, so what happened? He and I, we met on Clubhouse. That's where I met like all the connections I got with like battle rap homies. Now it was during when Clubhouse pandemic and everything was going on. Shout out Nino Bless real quick. We was on there one day. I'd been on there for like a month or two. I was just the dude that cracked jokes. I was just one of the funny niggas. Like I didn't bring up music or nothing. So we're in there talking, and Nino comes in. He's like, "Yo, Meta, you working on any new beats or any new music or anything?" And I think it was Mad Flex in there. Shout out him. Shout out Thesaurus. Marv, Quest. A few people were in there, and they were like, "Wait, you make music?" And I was like, "Yeah." They're like, and Nino just goes, "Y'all never heard Meta rap before?" He was like, "Go to he just got this joint called Situations, a lyric video on YouTube. Go look at that shit right now. Stop talking, go watch that and come back." And they did. And from that moment on, it was like, how the fuck do you rap like that and you say nothing to nobody in a room full of rappers? And it was like, I'm a fan first, you know? So that's kind of like the dynamic I had. I'm a fan first. And I gave him a beat for his Hagler EP, Salt and Pepper. I produced that joint. And it just kind of built from there. We ended up doing the song Prisoner. Shout out to P. Soul. He produced that. And we did a video for it down here in last August. And 2 weeks later, he just texted me one day. He was like, "Let's do an EP." And I was like, "Let's." He was like, 6-piece. Like, bet. And all I said was, outsourcing production or 3 apiece. He said 3 apiece. Say less. Next day, I made a beat. And he made one. He sent it to us. We had 2 songs done in one day. And it just kind of went from there. But then it went to like 8. So now we have 8 joints, 4 produced a piece. And it's just grown man music. It's grown man music without being preachy or corny. It's not intentionally grown man music. It's just where we are in our lives. We're just, we can rap really well, but there's a lot of topics, and there's things that we're going through as adult men that we don't mind expounding on. For anybody that's in the 30 plus range or They're 25 plus. I know a lot of young old niggas too. So like anybody that feels that they can relate. If you a nigga that's 28 with like 7 kids, like you grown as me.
You check a Fatu?
Like, you grown as me. You got me 7 kids.
Yeah.
So you can relate to the music. That's kind of like where we going with it, man. So
the Honorable Dupre Kelly, better known as Dude Off Lords of the Underground, 20 years ago coined the phrase adult contemporary hip hop. That's what we at right now. Like
that's it.
Like if you can you can do the gunplay, you can do the drug talk, all that type of stuff. If it's not clever, there's no room for it. If it's not soulful, if it's not genuine, there's no room for it. So that's all, as grown men and women, all we want to do when we listen to our music is hear something that's genuine and it's got some heart to it. If it's missing that, then you're missing me and those who love that lane of music.
Indeed.
And like I said, it don't gotta be preachy. It has to be authentic.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We're just speaking from where we at in life, and we just happen to be in a similar situation. We're the same. I'm actually a couple of weeks older than him, so I was like, yeah. Hey.
Right on, man. Well, looking forward to it, man. And just like that, we really just murdered this show. So take the time now. Plug yourself, man. Everything you got coming up, anything you got going on, socials, all that stuff. Tell people where to find you and how to get at you for beats and verses, man.
Absolutely. So yeah, right there at Minnesota. That's everywhere. That's Twitter, Blue Sky, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. It's everywhere you want to be like a visa. That's the name. So it's also my Gmail, Minnesota@gmail. So if you want to hit me up for beats, you can do that. Booking inquiries. I've got a manager. He's I can't even think of his at right now, but San Francisco supply company. So CO. But yeah, just me and Marv's joint. I have a few EPs I'm working on. One self-produced, one with my brother P. Soul, one with my brother Sherman Makes Beats. Me and shout out Albie. Me and Albie. He's if you're familiar with Albie Back, he's that me and him have been working on some joints. He's been sending me crazy stuff. I'm just keeping busy. And my boy DJ Bonix, shout out Bonix. We got our single out, See It Through. It's doing really well right now. We might be working on an EP too. I'm waiting for him to send me some more beats. So
hey man, stay busy, man. We need all that. We need all that.
Yeah, I said top of the year, I was like, this year is gonna change. It's gonna change me and get me back to where I need to be. So I'm just holding true to that.
Well, all this music, all this wrestling we got going on, the door is always open for us. Always has been, always will be. Whenever you want to stop back through, just hit us up. We got you. Bring your people on too. We can make this a whole big shindig, man. And we appreciate you for taking time out your busy day and
for having me. I love it. I love seeing black men on dope platforms talking about wrestling.
You see it, man. 249, man. We've been doing this 7 years now, Swab. We out here. We really doing this.
Are we in year 7 or we in year 8? It's gotta be year 8.
We're going into year 8.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, this week is the anniversary, so we're going into year 8 like this week.
That's amazing.
The anniversary show got to be lit.
Man, we
You're behind on the trigger. Help him get himself together. I'm officially following Minnesota on all social platforms, so you need to be doing
I'm about to do the same. I got you.
Yeah, man. At Suave for Mayor, at Danger One, you see it. At BPB, at Broken Pistol BC. We this is how we do it. You need to holler at Minnesota through us. You need to holler at us through us. Here's how you do it. Show at BrokenPistolBC.com, BrokenPistolBC@gmail.com. That's at BrokenPistolBC on all things social, at BrokenPistolBC on what?
Everything. Not
to mention, this show is always brought to you by the good people at Selwyn Vega Pro Audio, SelwynVega.com. Shouts out to Gary. Shouts out to Henry. SelwynVega.com for all your pro audio needs. Also, the good people at Vida Hermosa Cigars. VitaHermosaCigars.com coming soon. Vida Hermosa, it truly is a beautiful life. Suave.
Yeah.
Thank you to Minnesota. Take them to the house.
Pencil pushers. Like, rate, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell that friend to tell a friend. And then...
in my own solo voices, because Minnesota's on. Tell that friend again.
Yeah. Heads up,
That was really good.
pencils down.
You like that? I'm here all week.
Whole lot of fucking gang shit. Fucking yo,
I'm gonna slap the shit out of him, bro.
I would have never fucking guessed.
I'm gonna slap the dog shit out of him, bro. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait, bro. Like,
I have to beat you up now.
I don't think about him until he brought up again. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yo, that's fucking crazy. Like,
I had to, man. Like that story is too gold. I'm just like, yo, just fucking it. And you're right. Like, people throw around that word narcissist way too much. That dude loves the smell of his own bullshit.
He loves himself like no other, bro.
the story sounded like, okay, this is probably gonna be some Kanye shit, or this is gonna be some
Close.
I mean, they're of the same ilk for sure.
That's exactly who it sounded like.
One just is smart enough to have enough of a filter during the Ferguson thing. I have a homegirl named IG now that she changed, but she was down there. They were just down there doing like protesting, doing activism work and shit. And that nigga was like harassing her heavy, trying to fuck, like heavy, to the point that she told me about it when she got back in town, like crying. She was like, you know how much I love his music and stuff. I was like, me too. Like, we used to listen to this shit together. And she was in tears about how he was harassing her. So I brought that up and shit. And then he was like, well, who's your friend? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, the way y'all are coming at me, who's a grown man, you think I'm going to give you her so you and your minions can go, no, fuck you. Talk to me. Like, fuck you. I'm going to slap shit out of you, bro. Like, I'm still going to do it. Unless he, like I said, if he doesn't apologize, as soon as we're in the same place and he doesn't say, yo, I'm sorry, I'm slapping you, bro. Anything else, I'm slapping you.
He was targeting a bully.
No, I gave him, I was hoping for a better outcome, but
I gave you ample opportunity to man up.
Hey, don't you sound like a more pragmatic Sean Price? He's like, look, I gave him a chance, but I'm gonna slap the shit out of him. Yes, true.
I've done more for less. That's what I'm saying.
I can't argue with any of this. I can't argue at all.
Grown man standing on grown man business.
You, man. Like, yeah, that nigga take care of his mom. Yeah, do it with the hands. Nigga, the hands work. Nigga.
That's fucking hilarious.